coming up next on Newswatch.
A staple of fall is in short supply this year. Students continue to protest the loss of an OU resource. And in sports, Ohio football takes on Buffalo this Saturday. Find out if the Cats can rebound from last week's loss to Western Michigan. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens. This is Newswatch.
Festivities this year. Good evening, I'm Carter Eckel. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't seen mini pumpkins around, there's a reason why. There has been a shortage of pumpkins nationwide. Even Athens' very own Gold Family Farm, who harvests pumpkins every year, experienced a crop failure. The Gold Family Farms offers pumpkin picking and hay rides, but because of the pumpkin shortage, owner Julie Gardner wasn't able to hand out any pumpkins this year.
Big financial hit for us. It's quite expensive to lose any kind of crop. So, you know, when you're in anticipation of having that money to help cover our other crops, earlier this year we lost, but also just, you know, financially it's a big hit. And then, you know, we like having people come to the farm. We enjoy having kids come and run through our fields and pick out pumpkins. We enjoy families riding on the hay wagons. That's something that we look forward to as, you know, as farmers every year as well. So that was something we definitely missed this year.
The Gold Family Farm is currently closed for the rest of the year. Garner hopes next year will be more successful. The Alexander Local School District is meeting next week to continue the discussion about a proposed bus garage. Our partners at the Athens Messenger tell us that Alexander School District will meet with village officials Tuesday. They will be discussing pending litigation to connect a new bus garage and proposed wellness center to the village's sewer system. The district and the village are set for a second hearing on November 5th. An update now on our Ohio University Survivor Advocacy Program. The student union activist group on campus is demanding the university suspend the program. Today, the student union met with President McDavis. The student union says that since the program no longer acts as a confidential place for students, it does more harm than good. In addition to suspending the program, the group is also demanding the university post the job immediately.
The danger of this is that if someone goes in and needs their help, cannot get that help. They have to call a hotline or go to CPS. A lot of us are on waiting list, 3-week waiting lists for CPS, and we can't get proper care. I've heard that CPS is doing an okay job at taking in walk-ins, but they are not equipped, I think, and they're not trained well enough to deal with sexual violence.
The university released a statement at 4:30 this afternoon saying that the Survivor Advocacy Program will continue and that they are doing everything in their power to make sure a suitable replacement is found. This weekend, Athens will host its first ever Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. Sunday, Susan G. Komen Columbus will team up with Ohio University School of Nursing to bring the race to Athens and the surrounding community. Although they aren't strangers to Southeast Ohio, Komen Columbus has given $4.5 million in programs to support and educate women in Southeast Ohio. Nicole Racy, Director of Communication and Marketing for Susan G. Komen Columbus, says she's excited about the inaugural race.
Had a wonderful partnership with the OU School of Nursing, so that's really exciting to be coming into the race because we know there are so many people who are just really pumped for this, and they know the work that we do because they've been funded from us to support their breast health program.
It still isn't too late to join in on the fun. You can still register tonight at the Athens Community Center until 7 p.m. You can also register tomorrow from 9 in the morning until 7 at the Walter Fieldhouse right next to Peden Stadium, or on race day from 10 until noon at Walter Fieldhouse.
Good evening, welcome to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Ann Campolongo. Today we saw wall-to-wall sunshine, a great way to end the week. We saw clear skies for the majority of this whole weekend. Temperatures were very mild this week, so nice week to get outside and have outdoor plans because it's been nice, and those things will change for the weekend. But for right now, we are still sitting in the lower 70s for right here in Athens. 72, our warm spot on the map is 75 down in Ripley and 66 up in Cambridge. As we take a look for Friday night football, 58 degrees will be the temperature at kickoff. It will be dry and it will be mild, so a nice night to head out to check out some of the local games around the region. Things will continue to stay dry. You'll see partly cloudy skies for the evening, so a great night to head outside. And then as we take a look into our overnight hours, temperatures will dip down into the 50s, so a mild evening for us, 55 degrees by 11 p.m., and then we'll see partly cloudy skies for the remainder of the evening. So Carter, if you're headed out tonight, we'll have mild conditions, so no need to bring a jacket or anything like that. Great way to end the work week.
Thanks a lot, Ann. The Center for Disease Control will be paying a visit to Ohio on Monday. CDC doctors will be coming to the Buckeye State to find solutions to the surge in overdose deaths. They are said to have been caused by a powerful painkiller mixed with heroin. The painkiller, fentanyl, is between 30 and 50 times more powerful than heroin. There are over 500 fentanyl-related deaths last year in Ohio, up from 84 just the year before. CDC doctors will be in Cuyahoga, Hamilton, and Montgomery counties, along with the city of Portsmouth. Ohio prisons will soon be getting more money. The Ohio Prisons Department has announced $34 million in grants to local probation departments and the courts. Grant money will go to paying for community alternative to prisons. That includes substance abuse treatment centers as well as electronic monitoring of prisoners. The hope is that crime will be reduced and low-level nonviolent offenders will stay out of prison. Ohio prisons are currently housing 50,000 inmates and are 130% over capacity. A West Virginia school is fighting to keep bed bugs out of their classroom. Students at Chamberlain Elementary will not be permitted to bring their backpacks to school come Monday when they arrive at school. They'll have to put their coats and books in 10-gallon plastic bags. School officials say a bed bug was first found last month. The school closed down for treatment before another bed bug was found the following week, and another was found this week. Officials are calling this not just a school problem, but a community one as well. Balloons over Morgantown was held today, but the balloons didn't leave the ground because of early morning fog that temporarily grounded the balloons. An event organizer said low visibility made it unsafe for the balloons to take off. There are balloons from 7 states scheduled to fly over the Mountain State, but not to worry, the balloons did take flight around 4 this afternoon. Coming up on Newswatch, another change in the race for the Democratic nomination for president. Find out who's in and who's out.
It is deeply unfortunate that something as serious as what happened in Benghazi could ever be used for partisan political purposes.
Puts Hillary Clinton in the hot seat. A recap of the intense hearing coming up when Newswatch returns.
I decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Instead of being a presidential candidate, Hillary Clinton had to act in her former capacity as Secretary of State on Thursday. Her testimony took most of the day as she appeared before a House committee talking about the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, which left 4 Americans dead, including the U.S. ambassador. Andrew Spencer reports.
Hillary Clinton shook hands with supporters who had sat behind her and spoke after the hearing to Democratic Congressman Elijah Cummings, her most vocal defender on the House Select Committee on Benghazi.
So I don't know what we want from you. Do we want to badge you over and over again until you get tired, until we do get the gotcha moment that he's talking about? We're better than that.
The Republicans on the panel emerged from a grueling 11-hour day.
Appreciate Secretary Clinton coming. It was a long day for her, but she stayed to the end, and I didn't hear a single word of complaint from her. Heard a little bit from some of the other folks on the dais, but not from her.
As for what they came away with after hours and hours of Clinton testimony,
I don't know that she testified that much differently today than
only 2 new details came to light. That in the aftermath of the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya, Clinton sent her family an email attributing the violence to a known terrorist group, and in a phone call told the then Egyptian Prime Minister it was a planned attack.
Tell your family it's a terrorist attack, but not the American people. And you can tell the Egyptian Prime Minister it's a terrorist attack, but you can't tell your own people the truth.
There is no doubt in my mind that we did the best we could with the information that we had at the time.
I'm Andrew Spencer, reporting.
Many are applauding Clinton for how she handled the hearing. The presidential hopeful said, "It's a shame Benghazi had to be turned into something political." Former Rhode Island Governor Lincoln Chafee is throwing in the towel in his bid to be the next presidential candidate nominee. Today, Chafee told supporters that he decided to end his campaign. He made a formal announcement at a women's leadership forum in Washington. The former Republican was never a serious factor in the Democratic race. He struggled in the polls and in fundraising and performed poorly in last week's Democratic presidential debate. He has continued to support the Democratic Party.
We do have a winning message of building a strong middle class, investing in education and infrastructure, extending health coverage to more and more Americans, granting a path to citizenship to those who have lived in the shadows for too long, accepting the science of climate change, and having the leadership to cut back on fossil fuel consumption with sound policy.
Chafee's departure comes just days after former Virginia Senator Jim Webb ended his candidacy, as well as Vice President Joe Biden announcing he would not seek the Democratic nomination. Former Subway sandwiches pitchman Jared Fogle has agreed to a plea bargain in the child sex case against him. Fogle will pay $1.4 million in restitution, $100,000 for each of his 14 victims. Fogle will also plead guilty to child pornography and another charge. He must serve between 5 and 12.5 years in prison for secretly photographing and paying minors for sex. Fogle became the face of the popular sandwich chain after losing 200 pounds on what he called the Subway diet. The company cut ties with him as news of the allegations broke this summer. An assistant U.S. attorney said Fogle has paid $1 million of the restitution so far. The rest is expected to be paid before a sentencing hearing next month. Facebook is getting a lot of likes on Wall Street. The social media grant was trading at $102 a share when Wall Street opened this morning. It marks the first time the company crossed the $100 mark. Facebook is among several technological stocks making waves on Wall Street today. Google and Amazon are also trading at record levels, while Microsoft reached a 15-year high. Morgan Stanley recently listed Facebook among its 16 stocks to buy no matter what happens to the U.S. economy. On Wall Street today, stocks closed out the week at a low after surges Monday through Thursday. Here's a look at stocks of local interest. Still ahead on Newswatch, it's being called the most powerful hurricane in history. More on Hurricane Patricia as Mexico prepares for her to make landfall.
This mild weather will finally be coming to an end this weekend. I'll let you know when the cooler air gets here, and with that, when the rain will be here. Plus your 7-day forecast, all next on Newswatch.
I support one student in college with a scholarship. Just the way I want to pass on a legacy of education. I would like to pass PBS on to the next generation. I like to think that PBS is concerned with our soul. If your soul is in the right place, you're in giving back.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Bracing for Patricia. Right now, the historic hurricane is set to make landfall along Mexico's western coast, impacting millions of people in Mexico. Meteorologists watched as it went from a tropical storm to a Category 5 hurricane in just a day, packing sustained winds of over 200 miles an hour. Several resorts and hotels are evacuating, Paulo Sandoval reports. The United States may also be impacted by the potential catastrophe of the storm.
A view from outer space is enough to see why Patricia is the largest and strongest hurricane ever recorded. Meteorologists monitored the cyclone as it intensified from a tropical storm to a Category 5 hurricane in less than 24 hours. The potential for Patricia to cause massive death and destruction is prompting thousands along Mexico's Pacific coast to flee inland. The airport in the popular resort city of Puerto Vallarta is closed until further notice, while planes are being diverted around the monster storm. First Lieutenant Lisa Freilich and a reconnaissance crew flew right into it.
The best description I can relate it to is going on a roller coaster. That constant dropping out of your stomach.
Freilich says the storm isn't weakening, at least not yet.
When we left it, it was still intensifying. And each pass, we did 3 passes through the eye last night, and each one we did, it kept getting stronger and stronger.
Meteorologists predict Patricia could dump as much as 20 inches of rain in parts of Mexico, causing flooding and triggering mudslides. What's left of the hurricane should drift north into the southern region of the U.S., where parts of the Lone Star State are already under flash flood watches. I'm Paulo Sandoval reporting.
Hurricane Patricia's rapid rise is due in part to this year's El Nino weather phenomenon. Meteorologists with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration say El Nino is warming the waters of the Pacific more than usual. Scientists say climate change may also be playing a role that likely fueled the formation of this storm. And now over to Ann with weather.
While we won't be seeing the rain from Patricia this weekend, we are seeing some great colors out there, and we have reached the peak season for the leaves across southeastern Ohio. So some gorgeous colors out there, and if we take a look at some of the state parks around the region, they're all at peak season right now. We have some photos from some viewers that were sent in. So some great oranges and reds being shown there in that picture of the leaves. And then here's a picture from Ohio University. So some great pictures and great time to head outside this weekend to check out the pumpkins. I think Saturday will be a little bit rainy, but Sunday looks to be dry if you're headed to any pumpkin patches this weekend. Right now in Athens, though, we're still at a mild 72 degrees. Winds out of the east right now at around 5 miles per hour, and we're above average for today. Our high today was 72 and our normal was 64, so we've seen a great stretch of mild weather this weekend. Tonight, if you're headed out for Friday night football, things will be mild and dry for once, so no rain to worry about tonight. It'll be 55 by 11 p.m. and then dropping just a few degrees by 1 a.m. Taking a look at the precipitcast for tonight, though. So high pressure was in control earlier this week, but now we're seeing a storm system work its way from the west coast headed to our region tomorrow, and that'll bring us some rain chances for your Saturday. But tonight will stay dry as a warm front lifts through, bringing our temperatures up to around 70 for tomorrow. But then as that cold front slowly works its way towards southeastern Ohio, that's where we're going to be seeing some of the rain showers tomorrow. I think as we start off the day on Saturday, we'll see some scattered chances of rain, but then it'll become more widespread and likely closer to the afternoon hours and for Saturday night. So much of your day tomorrow might be rainy, so bring the rain jacket if you're headed out, or if you have any outdoor activities planned for your Saturday, you might need a second option. Overnight lows for tonight, though, will drop down into the 50s right here in Athens, 68 the low here in Marietta, and 49 over in New Lexington. So temperatures, again, mild for tonight, but as you take a look for your Saturday, we'll see mostly cloudy skies as you start off the day at 10 a.m., 56 degrees, and then warming up to the mid-60s by noon. We'll top out at 70 before the day's over. But again, rain showers will be in the region for much of the day for your Saturday, and temperatures across the area, most of us seeing 70s for tomorrow. So again, another mild day, just some rain to deal with, but Sunday will be dry. Tonight in Athens, though, will be mild, partly cloudy, 50 for your low tonight, and then for tomorrow, 70. Again, mostly cloudy skies as you wake up, and then rain showers start to work into the day tomorrow, early afternoon, into the evening hours. And here's your 7-day forecast as that cold front passes through tomorrow. Then things will cool off for Sunday, 61 your high on Sunday, but we'll see partly cloudy skies. So cooler temperatures for your work week next week as temperatures dip down into the 60s, and then cooler temperatures for you in the evening as we drop down into the 30s. So mild weather slowly slipping away from us, and we'll see more fall-like temperatures next week. Carter, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Ann. Ohio volleyball has 2 critical matches on the road this weekend where the Cats will look to stay perfect in conference play. And Gridiron Glory has a big slate of games for Week 9. Find out where our crews of reporters will be next on Newswatch. Stay tuned to WUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
My granddaughter is named June Elizabeth, but I call her Junebug. My hope is to teach her about kindness and about the love of animals and nature. I want Junebug to have the same opportunities I had by watching PBS. My husband and I feel so strongly about our PBS station that we've included them in our estate plan. PBS is part of our values, and we want to pass it on to the next generation.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back. I'm Carter Eckel. Now over to sports, where Ohio football travels to Buffalo this weekend to take on the 2-4 Bulls on Saturday. The Cats will be looking to bounce back after their deflating 49-14 loss at the hands of Western Michigan Broncos last weekend. Health will be a big issue for the green and white, as the Cats have gotten banged up quite a bit in the past few weeks. Starting linebacker Quentin Poling will not be in action for Ohio, along with running back Poppy White. The Bobcats befuddled the Bulls last season 37-14 in front of a sellout crowd at Peden Stadium. The Bulls have lost 3 games in a row and is Ohio's last test before the Bobcats enter their bye week. Kickoff between the two Mid-American Conference foes is scheduled for 3:30 p.m. The Ohio volleyball team hits the road this weekend, where they will partake in 2 critical Mid-American Conference matches. They will host a 10-13 Western Michigan team tonight at 7 in Kalamazoo, Michigan, before heading to DeKalb, Illinois Saturday for an 8 o'clock match against an 11-9 Northern Illinois team. The Bobcats have won 32 straight MAC regular season matches since 2013 and are still on pace for a perfect regular season slate. Ohio aims to keep that streak active as they seek their 4th consecutive MAC title. Ohio soccer kicked off their weekend slate earlier today against Toledo. Both teams have struggled so far this season after Toledo came into Chesapeake and knocked off the Cats. The Cats travel to Central Michigan to take on the Chippewas on Saturday, who currently sit at 4-3-1 in the MAC, but have struggled away from home. Luckily for Ohio, home field has been the catalyst for their success, as the Cats are 3-3 in Athens this season. Opening kickoff is set for 1 p.m. at Chesapeake on Sunday. And don't forget to listen in to our 2 sports radio programs. Face Off is a sports debate show hosted by yours truly, with 4 panelists who are competing for one final glory segment. Sports Beat airs on Thursdays and is a talk show where the crew brings on Ohio athletes and coaches, as well as a bunch of other guests to discuss what's going on locally in Ohio sports. Earlier today, the Ohio field hockey team lost 2-1 to Kent State. The loss drops the Bobcats to 3rd place in the MAC, while the win gave Kent a stranglehold on 1st place. The Bobcats will have a chance to redeem themselves this Sunday at Pruitt Field when they take on the 10-6 Northwestern Wildcats. The match has been designated as the Breast Cancer Awareness Day, with fans receiving complimentary pink shirts. Switching back to the gridiron, where Gridiron Glory kicks off Week 9 action tonight on WOUB TV at 11:30 p.m. You don't want to miss out, as playoffs are just around the corner. Our host Justin Holbrook and our wonderful crew of reporters will be bringing you all the highlights and recaps from games around the area. Alexander battles Trimble in a matchup of 2 one-loss teams. Tri-Valley and Maysville will be competing to clinch a share of the MVL title, and Athens travels to River Valley, where the Bulldogs and the Raiders will be fighting for the 2nd spot in the TVC Ohio. Be sure to follow the show on Twitter at Gridiron Glory to get live check-ins and scores from all 35 teams in our coverage area. That's it for sports. Back to Ann with a final weather check-in.
Thanks, Carter. Tonight in Athens, we'll be at 50 degrees tonight, mild and partly cloudy skies, but it will be a dry night, so if you're headed out for football this evening, you should be good to go. Tomorrow is a different story, though. We'll reach a high of 70, mostly cloudy skies, but rain showers will be around for tomorrow for most of the day, especially the second half of your day on Saturday. So a soggy day for Saturday, but we'll reach 70 degrees, but then things cool off for Sunday and the rest of the work week, more fall-like next week as that mild temperatures and rain chances back in the forecast for the middle of the week. Carter, back to you.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Carter Eckel. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.